Air India is making some bold moves in the United States. As part of a major restructuring, the Tata Group-owned carrier is streamlining its US operations, realigning its workforce and preparing for non-stop flights to two new American cities, Dallas, Fort Worth, and Los Angeles. These efforts aim to enhance efficiency, optimize operations, and solidify Air India's presence in one of its most lucrative international markets. The US remains a key battleground for Air India, with major competitors like Emirates, Qatar Airways, and United Airlines dominating the space. But the airline holds a unique advantage: access to Russian airspace. This allows it to operate more direct and fuel-efficient flights between India and the US compared to its American rivals. While airlines like United and American Airlines have been forced to suspend or reroute their India-bound flights, Air India has maintained its strategic edge by continuing to offer shorter non-stop routes to key Indian cities. To support this growing US operation, Air India has been making significant changes behind the scenes. The airline has reassigned personnel across different locations in the US, bringing more focus to critical areas. A complete overhaul of its sales team is also underway, with all US-based passenger and cargo sales staff being replaced by newly contracted teams. Additionally, the leisure sales team has moved to the West Coast, aligning with Air India's focus on expanding operations at LAX, while the corporate sales team has shifted to New York City. To improve efficiency and reduce costs, the airline has also moved all of its financial operations in the US to its headquarters in Gurugram, India. With these structural changes in place, Air India is preparing for its biggest US expansion yet, and all signs indicate that Dallas and Los Angeles will be the next destinations. There's speculation that the airline could launch these new non-stop routes as early as fall 2025, depending on aircraft availability. In Los Angeles, staff from the airline's San Francisco office have already been transferred, signaling that Air India is making serious preparations for operations at LAX. The demand for non-stop flights from California to India has been steadily growing, making Los Angeles a logical next step. Meanwhile, hiring efforts in Dallas suggest that a new Texas route could be imminent. DFW is one of the busiest airports in the world, with a large Indian diaspora and growing business ties between India and Texas. With no non-stop flights currently available between Dallas and India, Air India has the opportunity to fill a major gap in the market. However, the biggest challenge remains aircraft availability. The airline is still waiting for deliveries of new Boeing 777s and Airbus A350s, which will determine the timing of these new route launches. This isn't Air India's first attempt at US expansion. In the past, the airline has considered adding flights to Boston, Houston, Seattle, and Atlanta, but those plans never materialized due to fleet limitations and operational constraints. Now, under the leadership of the Tata Group, Air India is better positioned than ever to follow through on its US expansion plans, thanks to a renewed fleet strategy and an improved operational structure. As Air India expands its presence, it faces fierce competition from both Middle Eastern and US-based airlines. Emirates and Qatar Airways dominate the one-stop market, offering multiple daily connections between India and US cities through Dubai and Doha. Their extensive global networks and premium service make them strong contenders for travelers flying between the US and India. On the other hand, United Airlines remains a key competitor in the non-stop market, operating direct flights between Newark and Delhi. American Airlines also offers a non-stop flight between New York and Delhi, but relies heavily on codeshare agreements with airlines like Qatar Airways to extend its reach in India. A major disadvantage for US airlines is that they cannot fly over Russian airspace, forcing them to take longer routes with higher fuel costs. This has already affected United, which had to suspend its Chicago-Delhi route and cancel plans for flights to Bengaluru. The impact of these restrictions is evident in flight times. United's San Francisco-Delhi route now takes over 16 hours, while Air India's non-stop service on the same route takes just 14 to 15 hours, thanks to its ability to fly through Russian airspace. The additional flying time and fuel costs have also made it unsustainable for United to continue flying between Chicago and Delhi. These operational challenges give Air India a major advantage as it expands its US network. Beyond its network expansion, Air India has been strengthening its global presence through a growing partnership with Lufthansa. This codeshare agreement offers seamless connectivity between India, Europe, and North America, allowing passengers to book interline flights on both airlines. Travelers can now easily connect between Air India and Lufthansa flights when traveling between India and the US via Frankfurt or Munich. This partnership also brings additional perks, such as lounge access, priority boarding, and the ability to earn and redeem miles across both airlines. Lufthansa passengers benefit from access to Air India's extensive domestic network, while Air India customers can connect to Lufthansa's transatlantic routes. This collaboration significantly enhances Air India's reach in the US market, providing passengers with more flexibility and seamless travel options. As Air India moves forward with its ambitious US expansion plans, the addition of Dallas and Los Angeles would be a game changer for US-India travel. These routes would further cement the airline's position as a major global carrier, offering more non-stop connectivity between the two countries than any other airline in the market. Demand for travel between India and the US is at an all-time high, and the big question now is which city Air India will launch first, Dallas or Los Angeles? With preparations already underway, an official announcement could come at any time. Stay tuned for more updates on Air India's expansion and follow us on social media for the latest aviation news.